Hey, what's up you guys? You're watching Team APS, Paul here. In today's video, I'm gonna share 3 cards that could be on the ban list. Maybe not should be on the ban list, could be on the ban list. Let's get started. So a little bit of preface, these 3 cards are basically ones that I feel kind of have gone under the radar in terms of ban list hits. I mean, I'm not saying they're broken, I'm not saying they actually need to necessarily be banned, they could just be limited or something. But they're cards that can be pretty troublesome when you think about it, and maybe, might not ever get hit, and maybe that'll be fine, but I thought I'd bring it to the table. So the first card is Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. This card, to me, it just surprises me that Konami would kind of load a card with this much power in it. It's effectively a dark hole, and it also summons 2 monsters from the deck. Now, you could say, well, your opponent gets a monster too, but Zodiacs have obviously, proven to us that that doesn't really matter. I mean, there are loads of ways to OTK just by using this card. And of course, you're always going to give yourself the bigger kaiju. You're going to get Dogoron or Jizukiru, and you're going to give your opponent like a Gamma-Seal. So I really don't think that it's like all that balanced. I mean, it's just a better dark hole that actually gets you a really big monster in the field, still clears the opponent's board, plus later you can use it to search a kaiju. Like, it's kind of huge. And people already have their whole gripes with kaijus, and I think that one of the major things with kaijus, one of the major sort of design flaws is that it's impossible for Konami to really hit them on the ban list. They can't ban kaijus, and even though people maybe complain about them, there's no way to just ban all of the different ones. But I do think that Interrupted Slumber is one of those cards that maybe should get limited. I don't think it should get banned. I mean, I don't think it's ungodly broken, but it's just really annoying when, it happens to you. Just kind of get, I have a good board, and then boom, Interrupted Slumber, and then a kaiju gets dropped in my field, and then you get a giant kaiju, and of course you're gonna swing over mine, and that could lead to OTKs. I feel like the one thing that kept things like Dark Hole and even Raigeki balanced was the fact that even though they're really strong, those cards themselves didn't actually advance your game state. So, even if I'm in a bad spot and I top deck Dark Hole and nuke your board, that doesn't actually get me monsters. That alone won't win me the duel or give me any board presence. So, the difference with this is I can nuke your board and then summon a huge monster, and through that huge monster, I might be able to kill you. And I just think that that's something that feels a little too powerful, considering, like I said, later on the card will also get to banish itself, at least not on the same turn, but still, and search a kaiju monster, and we know how much people love those. So I think this card should probably get limited, or could get limited. I don't think it should be banned, but just one to think about. The next card is Terraforming. So this is one that I've actually kind of alluded to in some past videos. Terraforming is it's for the longest time been fine. It's not a broken card, but the thing is, with how sort of powerful field spells are getting, where every single field spell searches, and most of them have even more potent effects, and every deck just is running 3 of their field spell and 3 terraforming, and the uber consistency that can kind of result from that when you think of 3 terraformings to reach 3 Dragonic Diagrams, or Magical Meltdown, Cosmoton, all those types of cards, the crazy ones, Union Hanger. I think that maybe Terraforming could go to 1. I mean, I'm not saying it should, but I feel like if Terraforming had been created today, it would probably have a once per turn clause. But the way it is now, I mean, there's really not even that. If I use Terraforming, search my Dragonic Diagram, it gets, Cosmic Cyclone or MST or Twin Twistered, I can still use another Terraforming and just search it again. And so that much just uber consistency can feel really oppressive at times, with the more powerful decks being able to get to those field spells so fast. And another thing too is that we now have set rotation, which I think if Terraforming were to get, say, limited, again, I don't think it should be banned, but maybe limited, then we still have set rotation. And I'm all for the idea of people running a card like set rotation, because even though it can be more powerful than Terraforming, and it's a quick play and all, it does have some cost built into running it, because you usually have to run a field spell that's maybe not so good, and it kind of requires more space in your deck. It's more of a risk involved, and I like that, as opposed to just Terraforming simple, just play and profit nature. So that's just my opinion. You guys can disagree, of course, but just me. And the third card is Fairytale Snow, and this one I've actually heard a few different people sort of talking about. This card can feel oppressive as a lot of things. It's, you know, I don't think the card's broken. I don't think it should be banned, but I wouldn't be surprised if it got limited or something like that. It's really strong in those 60 card decks, especially because, you know, when you mill cards with like that grass looks greener or something, then you're able to repeatedly abuse Fairytale Snow. And this card, like it's unassuming. You can summon it and it's chainable, like it's a spell speed 2 effect. So you can summon it during either player's turn. There's no like once per turn limit to it. You can just do it however many times is necessary. And then it flips a card face down. So it can disrupt plays like a Book of Moon. It can be easy rank 4 fodder. And it's usable just kind of over and over. It kind of reminds me of a better Trick Clown. And of course the card isn't without its weaknesses. Plus you might be saying, well, that grass is, you know, it's getting put to 1, so whatever. And maybe you're right, like, you know, maybe that means that I'm just overreacting and this card isn't that bad and, you know, I should just shut up and deal with it. But it's one of those cards where it's like, I don't know, maybe it could just get put to 1. It all depends. It's not like making a huge meta impact, but at the same time, like it low-key is, and that's kind of the idea with this video is like, these are cards that like kind of like sneak under the radar, but they're pretty strong. So those are 3 cards that I think are kind of under the radar and low-key maybe deserve to be on the ban list. Let me know what you guys think. What cards do you think also are like, you know, sort of getting by, but mayhaps they should get limited or something like that? I'd be really interested to know. Anyways, this video is part of the Summer of YuGiOh where I'm uploading a new video every single day. So that means check out yesterday's video and subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's. I'm also going to be giving away some special goodies at 70,000 subscribers. I'll give more details about that when we get there. So smash that sub button, share it with a friend, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.